What's up, y'all? It's that time again for another episode of ColumbusBlack.com's Columbus Black on Blast, right? So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to introduce somebody to you all in a few minutes. But before we get there, for those that have never seen our show before, have never heard of ColumbusBlack.com, I want to give you a quick backdrop. My name is Kevin Lloyd. I'm the founder and CEO of Columbus Black. We've been around for 18 years, since 2005. We are the primary online resource connecting the Black community to commerce and to culture. We're an omni-channel platform, so we have our website, ColumbusBlack.com, but we have an email distribution list. We have a text list. We have social media pages as well. And we also do live and in-person events and activations just like this. So when it comes to connecting the Black community, this is where you want to go, ColumbusBlack.com. So with that being said, I want to highlight our sponsor in the back. That's Venture Suite. Venture Suite is a suite of ventures. It is great if you are looking for a co-working space or an event space. You want to check it out at venturesuite.co. That's venturesuite.co. It is in the King Lincoln Bronzeville area in Columbus, right across the street from the Columbus Urban League, who is one of our partners. So we're excited about the fact that we can provide you with this amazing venue. So check it out once again at venturesuite.co. And make sure, if you want to make your life entertaining, our other partner and sponsor is Mile. It stands for Make Your Life Entertaining. It's how you find things to do, places to go, and food to eat. Go to mile.com. Be sure to download the app and check things out. And if you host events, you can post, promote, and sell tickets to your events. And the best part about that is a portion of the proceeds go back to underserved youth. It doesn't get much better than that, y'all. So remember, when you're looking for things to do, places to go, food to eat, or if you need to post, promote, or sell tickets to your events, just Mile it and make your life entertaining. Well, let's move into the reason why we are here today. This is Columbus Black on Blast, where we highlight movers, shakers, and creators in the Central Ohio area that are doing amazing things. Today, we have Natalia Harris with us, and I'm super excited because she is running for a very, very important role, right, with Franklin County that will impact Central Ohio in a major way. Now, the thing is, you all are going to get to know her just as I get to know her, and I'm excited about it. So, Natalia, welcome to Columbus Black on Blast. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me. But I'm doing good today. Ready for the
Outstanding.
holiday season.
Yes, 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 yes. So now by the time people see this, it will be post-holiday. But yes, this is right before the Christmas holiday,
Yes.
2023. We're going into the new year, y'all. Can y'all believe it? It'd be New
Ready
Year by
for
the
a new year.
time
New
you...
year, new challenges.
There you go. New year, new challenges. That's right. So listen, do me a favor. Would you tell us a little bit about yourself? We're going to talk about the professional stuff, but give us your background, your backdrop. Where are you from? I believe you're a native of Columbus. I've heard some things, some HBCU love in there too, but tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we'll get into where we are today.
Okay. So yes, I am I wouldn't say native of Columbus because I was born in Washington, D.C.
Okay.
But my
Okay.
parents moved here when I was about 3 or 4 years old. So I was absolutely raised in Columbus, Ohio,
Hmm.
product of Columbus City Schools. I graduated from Columbus Alternative High School.
All right.
Had I not gone to Cos, I would have gone to Walnut Ridge High School.
Mm.
And because Cos didn't have sports, I actually did play, or I was on the drill team and ran track when I was
Okay.
at Walnut Ridge High School, which
Ran
was my
track too,
home.
so you're pretty fast, huh?
I was.
She's like, yep, I was.
I was at some point in life.
Awesome.
Don't know if
Back
I
then.
want to race anyone now,
Oh no, I get it.
outside of
Trust
this
me.
political race.
Oh yeah, there we go. There we go. A whole new race.
Exactly. So, but from when I graduated from Cos, I went to Central State
Hmm.
University, one of Ohio's only two HBCUs, but only public, historically Black college and university.
Shout out to
And
Central State. I'm a
shout out to
Tuskegee alum,
Central
but
State.
we got that HBCU love, especially in Ohio.
Absolutely. It's
Oh
all
yeah.
family. We
Oh
all
yeah.
family. So came out of there in 97
Hmm.
and went to law school at the University of Dayton. And then from there started my professional career as a prosecutor.
Okay, that's good stuff. Good stuff. All right, so walk me through this whole path, right? So, legal. What made you decide? See, because here's what I want to make sure we do. We
Mhm.
want to end up talking about what it is that you're doing, but I want to make sure that every individual, especially our young adults, right, and our children, our youth, have an opportunity to understand a little bit more about your path. Like, and so for you, when was the light bulb that made you decide I want to go down this particular route?
So for me, I can remember as far back as when I was in seventh grade. My
Mm-hmm.
father would tell me that I actually started saying these things when I was in fifth grade. These things
Wow.
being that I wanted to be an attorney, I wanted to be a prosecutor.
Mm-hmm.
So I grew up in a single parent household with my father being the single parent. My mother passed away when
Wow.
I was in second grade.
Wow. Sorry to
So
hear that. Yeah. Okay.
thank you.
Mm.
Thank you for saying that. But I tell people all the time that God gave me a father that I could not have asked for, a better
Yeah.
parent. And so I don't really feel like I missed a lot.
Got you.
Um,
It looks like he did a pretty good job too.
well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for that. But so he was in law enforcement
Okay.
and he had a client caseload. And
Mm-hmm.
so he had to literally meet his clients where they were at, that point in their lives, whatever those circumstances were. So if they were doing well, then he would typically do home visits. If they weren't doing so well, he
Mm.
would typically visit them at the county jail.
Got
And
it.
what that meant for us as his kids, with him being a single parent, is that we were with him.
Yep.
And so we would sit in the jail lobby while he would go in and visit them, and he would have to go to the clerk's office. And this was before everything was computerized.
Okay.
And my dad was like Superman to me. And so I was intrigued by all of this as it was going on. So he started giving me assignments, looking up people's names alphabetically and things like that. And that was my exposure
Wow.
to the criminal justice system.
Mm.
Unfortunately and tragically, my dad's sister was also murdered. And I say murdered because the person was ultimately convicted. And
Mm.
I can remember as a child listening in the other room, even though we were not supposed to be,
Right.
but listening in the other room as they were describing exactly as they were describing what happened in court that day and the recollection of or rehashing essentially, what was going on in the trial as the trial was progressing.
Mm.
Candidly, in that age, I was more confused than anything else. And that confusion eventually evolved into interest in this field.
Yeah.
So I don't have any lawyers in my family. I'm the first lawyer in my family.
Congrats.
And thank you. But through the grace of God, I was able to intern with
Mm-hmm.
different lawyers, more specifically, the first African American female to become a judge in Franklin County. This
Mm-hmm.
was when I was in seventh and eighth grade because Monroe had a program where instead of going to school on Wednesdays, we went to intern with individuals in the field that we thought we wanted
That's
to be in.
so
And so
awesome. Yeah.
it is awesome. And so that's why the recollection for me is really strong at that age.
Mm-hmm.
And so this woman gave me what I call the blueprint on how to become a lawyer. And I followed it, ended up going to Central State, University of Dayton. And while I was at UD, they had a minority clerkship program.
Okay.
And I was interviewed for that, was selected for it, interned with the Montgomery County Prosecutor's Office for 2 years. And at the end of my second year, they said to me, if you pass the bar, we have, there's a position here for you.
Wow.
And thank God I passed the bar.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
that's how my legal, that is my path to prosecution.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
That's
Kind of
how
a
it all
bummer,
happened.
but that's how it all happened.
All right. So walk us through that now, right? So you've been in this role or this environment, right? For
Mhm.
how long now? How many years?
So I passed the bar in 2000. Now you make me tell my age.
Uh-oh. My bad. Sorry about that.
I'm just kidding. So I passed the bar in 2000 and would have started clerking in 1998. So about
Okay.
20, little over 23
Yeah.
years as a licensed attorney and closer to 25 as, if you include the time that I interned.
That's outstanding. Outstanding.
Mhm.
Congratulations on that tenure as well. So all of that has led to where we are today. So fill
Yeah.
us in regards to what you do today, but then what you are working toward at this new opportunity we want to talk about today.
Okay. So what I do today is I am the city attorney for the city of Delaware.
Okay.
So in it essentially is the law department for the city. So I'm the highest ranking legal officer for the city of Delaware.
Nice.
And as part of that, there is a civil division and then there is a criminal division. So our criminal division is the prosecutor's division, and then
Okay.
the civil division is everything else that is not criminal related.
Mhm.
Very much like the Franklin County Prosecutor's Office is structured.
Okay.
And so in my role, I oversee the prosecutor's office, and
Mhm.
then I also function as the lawyer for the city of Delaware. So I'm advising our city council around matters that they're involved in relative to the city and governing, the city. I
Mhm.
advise the city manager who is responsible for the day-to-day operations of the city. I advise all of our department heads in the daily operations that they're responsible for relative to their particular um, department in the organization as the city. I also work with outside counsel in terms of managing outside counsel relative to their involvement with the city. So I function more as I share with people that it really is a lot. I describe it as a general counsel
Mhm.
position for the city.
Right.
And then when there are things that are outside of my area of expertise, then I partner with outside counsel to ensure that the city gets the legal um, services that they need.
Okay. That makes sense. That makes sense. Okay. So now
Mhm.
you're working to take it to the next level, right? So there's an opportunity coming up, right? So Franklin County prosecutor, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So Franklin
Yep.
County prosecutor position will be, the incumbent has indicated that he does not intend to run again for reelection.
Okay.
And so I have actually, at this point, I have filed my petitions and was the first to file petitions, I
Okay.
believe, in order to run for this office. So I talked about Delaware
Mhm.
as their city attorney, and I talked about Montgomery County as an assistant prosecutor. But in between those two, I
Mhm.
have served in several prosecutor roles as well.
Okay.
So if you wouldn't mind me kind of throwing those in there, because it,
Yeah.
in my mind, has prepared me for to lead in this capacity as
Okay.
well. So when I left um, Montgomery County, I came back to Columbus
Mhm.
and worked under City Attorney Rick Pfeiffer for about 11 and a half years. And I started in his office as a assistant city prosecutor. And then I always say was voluntold to go.
I know what that means.
You know what that
Oh
means.
yeah.
To go to the police legal advisor's office. And so, in that capacity, you function as essentially in house counsel for the police department,
Okay.
involving training of officers, answering day to day legal questions
Yeah.
about whatever comes up in the course of, that operation, that 24/7, 365 operation. And
Mhm.
then from there, I did some civil work, which included um, instituting and implementing City Attorney Pfeiffer's vision of what community prosecution looked like. And
Okay.
so that initiative, which is called, I believe it is still called the Zone Initiative in the City Attorney's Office. And actually, um, that was a name that I suggested that City Attorney Pfeiffer ended up landing on. But I and four other attorneys created that program. And that initiative still exists today in that office. And I believe that was probably around 2005 or maybe around 6 or 7 that was instituted.
Okay.
Um, and then from there, I went on to become the city prosecutor for the city of Cincinnati.
Oh
And
wow. Okay.
and that was in 2015. At that time, I was the first African American female to actually be the city prosecutor for the city of Cincinnati. And
Nice.
then from there, came back home to
Okay.
Columbus, where I currently live, to the city of Delaware to
Mhm.
be their city prosecutor. First
Okay.
African American in that role.
Wow.
And then my predecessor left, and after several interviews, I was selected to be the city attorney, which is the role that I'm currently in, and am the first woman and first African Americans to serve in that role for them as well. So it has absolutely been
Awesome.
a journey. Thank you. It's been
Yes.
a journey. It's been a great learning experience, and through all of those roles, um, each one of them has prepared me to serve in this role as county prosecutor,
Okay.
because it has given me the opportunity to actually see what has worked and wasn't worked for
Yeah.
different reasons and for different things in different jurisdictions,
Right.
and also to um, know how to go into an environment that you haven't been a part of,
Mm,
at for a very long period of time,
okay.
obtain the um, support,
Mm,
backing, and respect of not just the staff, but also your partners that you collaborate with to get things done, because no one works in a silo alone and
right.
is successful at it. Um, and
Absolutely. Gem
to
drops.
exactly.
All right.
And so,
By the way, I'm gonna interrupt there
I'm
for
sorry.
check there for a second.
You don't let a lawyer, don't get a lawyer, Mike, because they just go on
Yeah,
forever.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, no worries at all. So, no, but the thing is, you led into one of the questions I was going to have later, which was like your qualifications and why you, right,
Oh,
for this
okay.
role, and you went right into it. So that's great. But what I didn't do, I didn't give you the disclaimer. So when I do this, that's called gem drops, right? So anytime you drop
Mhm.
gems and some knowledge, some big buckets of knowledge, that's when I do that. So I just want to let you know
Oh,
so it'll
awesome.
surprise you, and our audience is used to that. So I just want to
Okay.
make sure.
Okay.
All
Okay.
right. So you're dropping those gems. So now, real fast, so we're going to end up getting into. So thank you for that backdrop as your diverse experience, right, in different environments and how you've been able to navigate and adjust to those and still get the job done, right, which is outstanding. One of the things that I want to definitely talk about is so this new opportunity. When will people be voting? When is the election? When does this happen?
The general election is in November of next year. However, the candidates that have filed, including myself, we will have a primary, and that
Okay.
primary will be March 19th of 2024.
Okay. There we go.
Yes,
March 19th, 2024.
March 19th.
There we go. All right. So now, leading up to that, so you mentioned you were the first candidate. How many candidates get to run for this type of role? Is it unlimited, or is it a certain number during a primary to get to the general election?
So as long as you have there are certain minimal qualifications that you have to have
Mhm.
under the Ohio Revised Code legally, that you have to
Okay.
have in order to even qualify and be in the race. And that's
Okay.
essentially, certain age requirements. You have to have a law license in Ohio to practice. And then from there, you have to get a certain number of individuals, 50 individuals, to sign your petitions to indicate that they believe that you're qualified to hold the office, and then you file those. So there are three of us that I am aware of that are
Mhm.
running as Democrats that actually filed those signatures.
Okay.
In order to, but anyone who meets those minimum qualifications and gets the signatures can actually go down to the Board of Elections and file and request to be on the ballot.
Okay.
But then the Board of Elections has to certify your signatures. And so three of us, again, running as Democrats, have actually filed. The number of those three that will be on the ballot is still yet to be determined, as the Board of Elections has not certified that you, in fact, have reached the minimum number of
Okay.
signatures that are required.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. All right. So, let's go back a little bit, right?
Okay.
So, as we talked about your journey, you've mentioned, right, in some of these roles, you've been either the first African American or first African American female, right? In some of these roles, and probably the first female in some of those roles,
Correct.
as well. Walk us through the historic nature of this Franklin County prosecutor opportunity as well, so we understand what that what that would look like.
So there are several layers, in my opinion, of the historic nature of this race. This is the first time in the history of the office, as I understand, that three African Americans, solely three African Americans,
Mm,
are running to be the Democratic candidate, number one. There
Mm,
has never been an African American that has held this role. There has never been a woman, female candidate that
mm,
has held this role. And so there are several aspects that whomever is selected as one, the Democratic candidate, and if they go on to be successful in November,
right.
this will be a historic race for our county.
Wow. This is major, like major,
It
major.
is major. And it's
Okay.
coming at a time where we are facing some of the highest crime rates that
Yep.
we have seen as a county. And so that's why I believe that it is important for everyone to do their research
Yep.
on the candidates that are in this race
Mm,
around their connection to the city of Columbus, their familiarity with the history of
mm,
the city of Columbus, their level of experience in doing this work, because it's, in addition to being historic, and in my opinion, probably even more important than that,
mm,
is that we are, we have to find a way to mitigate what we are dealing with as a community relative to crime.
yes.
And what we know is that the old way that we have been doing things is not working because the
Mhm.
rates have continued to rise.
Right.
And so that's why I'm running on a platform of experience the change. You know, my
Mm,
platform is that we will bring a new way to run this office, and that's based in transparency,
okay.
community engagement,
Yeah.
and also cultural competency as you're holding people accountable for the actual conduct that they've done.
Mm. All right. All right. Here we go, y'all. So look, y'all notice we kind of started off, we kind of like walked up the hill a little bit. Now we're getting into it, right? We're getting
Yes.
into the thick of it. This is what we're talking about right here. Very historic, very important role, right? So give me your perspective on this. So as we think about the disparities that exist in our community, increased crime rates, right? We know when it comes to um, incarceration rates as well, there's disparities there. Then you talk about the fact of the opportunity to have an African American in such a critical and pivotal role. Shed some light as to, like, big picture wise, why is this, especially now? Like, we look at all the growth that's happening in Columbus, especially over the next 5 to 10 years. More people coming to the city, but crime rates going up, and that's a big deal for our city, as well as new people are looking at coming here. So give us your overall perspective of all of that and why that role is so important and pivotal, especially right now.
So the role is, in all those things are important, and this role is very important in relation to all of those things, because this prosecutor's office essentially functions as the gatekeeper for justice for Franklin County.
Mm,
And Franklin County is one of the largest county in the state of Ohio. It houses the capital city of Ohio.
mhm,
And so all of those things have impacts on people who want to come and do business in
mm,
Ohio and Franklin County and Columbus, people who want to come here and live. Um, and so as we are looking at the prosecutor's office, it too should
mhm,
reflect the community as a whole, and it too should reflect and be representative of the individuals that it services, because it's the law office for the county. It is a public office. It provides a public service to departments, county departments, the county commissioners, but also us as citizens of the county. And so it should be reflective of that. When I talk about cultural competency, having been a first in a lot of spaces in the roles that I've held, I've been able to observe that lack of representation leads people to view things, and there is a subjective component to criminal prosecution. And
mhm.
so it leads people to view things and end up looking at things in a monolithic type of perspective. And so adding diversity to that is what can actually lead to more equitable outcomes, which as a community is something we should want to see.
Amen, amen, amen. Y'all notice I started getting a workout, right? Y'all saw my arms going. Yeah, exactly. Gem drops being dropped left and right. And here at Columbus Black, we love to have these kind of conversations because this is the real and it's very serious. And having that representation makes a major, major, major difference to the decisions that are made. So I want to thank you for even being a candidate. I'm glad to hear that we have 3 candidates, but I'm glad to hear that you're You were the first. It goes back to your racing as a young person, right? Off to the races. Here she goes. Okay,
Yeah.
so things don't change. All right. So let's do this, right? So you mentioned like giving an attorney a mic, but I am going to give the mic back to you
Okay.
because we have a few minutes left, but
Mhm.
we wanted people to get a gist of who you are, your background and experience, your credentials, and then the opportunity at hand, right? So let's go into what's next, right? So what are the next steps look like for you as this race goes on, and then what do you need from us, right? So as residents, as voters, what do you need from constituents?
So the next step for us is we are gearing up to um, relaunch. We had our kickoff in end of June to kick off the campaign, but we are actually, boots to the ground, kickoff, relaunch to get ready and positioned for success in March, in January of next year. So there's a lot of things, going on in the background in order for us to successfully move through this campaign and hopefully win at the primary on March 19th. So to answer your question, what we need from at this time, it's really twofold, and then I'll say three, because obviously we need votes. On March 19th, we will need votes.
Yeah.
But in order for people to vote in the primary, they have to be registered. So we need
Right.
people to go out and register, and get registered to vote on March 19th, number one. But as a campaign, we need volunteers
Mhm.
to help us get our message out. And the unfortunate part that I have learned in this process is that campaigns cost money and they are very expensive to run, overpriced in my opinion, but
Mm.
they are,
Yeah, okay.
expensive to run. So we need donations in order to get my message out. I thank you for this opportunity, because this is an
Absolutely.
opportunity for our campaign and myself as a candidate to get our message out
Mm.
and hopefully reach people who are aligned with what it is that we're trying to do. And hopefully, out of that, will actually donate to us so that we can keep getting the message out and doing the things that we need to do in order to be successful. This is the political
Yeah.
aspect of, running, being, unfortunate. I won't say unfortunately, but it is a political office. And
Right.
so, in order to get in and do the work, I have to win the campaign.
Right. Okay. So speaking of that, how do people donate or contribute, or if they were interested in volunteering and supporting your campaign, how do they do that? Where do they go?
You can go to harrisforprosecutor.com, and from there, there is a link where you can donate from
Hmm.
there. There's also, you can put in your name and email address if you're interested in volunteering, and it will kick over to our campaign, and someone, our volunteer coordinator, will follow up with you and plug you in where where we are,
All
and we
right.
would go from there.
Awesome. 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 Awesome.
Yes.
That's great. So, and once again, that's Harris for prosecutor.org.
harrisforprosecutor.com.
.com,
Yes.
harrisonprosecutor.com. Y'all got it
Yes.
right there. That's where you can go if you want to make a donation, contribute, or be involved in a campaign in any way. All right, great stuff.
And
Yeah.
also, if you wouldn't mind me mentioning, from harrisforprosecutor.com, you can also follow me on social media, because that also helps to get my name recognition up.
Yeah.
If you share my posts, then, in addition to the people that I know, there might be some overlap, but you know more people than I do. So that helps to get our message and everything out too.
Outstanding. All right, so here's what I'm gonna tell all of our viewers. If you're watching this and you like what you hear, you know what you're supposed to do. It's time to share, right? So go
Yes.
ahead and hit that share button right now. Copy that link, drop it in text threads, emails, and make sure you get the word out so everybody knows who Natalia Harris is, her background, what it is she's running for, why she's doing it, and let's go from there, as well as getting them to help donate and contribute to the cause. All right. Okay. So as we get ready to wrap up, one of the things that happens a lot of times, and you've gone through this because you've been getting ready for the interview, is
Hmm.
sometimes people come on an interview and then we get done and they're like, I can't believe I didn't say that. I meant to say this. I said I was going to say it. So this is your opportunity. If we missed anything that you want to make sure the audience hears, it is your platform. So I'm going to open it up to you and you have the mic.
So, there are several things that I would like to add, but in the interest of timing, the one thing that I would like for people to walk away from is to recognize that, one, that I'm from this community. I live in this community, and I'm running for this office because, like people, I want to feel safe in the community, and I want my loved ones who are here and people who I love to also be safe in the community. And I feel like I have something that I can bring to this office to better the community. I have a record that shows that, and that's why I'm running, and I'm asking for people's support.
Outstanding, outstanding, outstanding. Well said. And she didn't even look, she didn't just hold the mic. She said what she had to say, and then she dropped the mic. All right. So that's how we're going to finish up right here. Natalia, thank you so much for
No,
joining us
thank
on
you.
ColumbusBlack.com.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate it. We wish you the best. So first, happy holidays, but then
Yes,
good luck with everything in the race. And I already know, like I said, you're off to the races. So we'll be here to support and watching everything. And I hope to have you back and the other candidates, right? For a forum here. Hopefully we can pull that together. And then the community could get involved and ask everybody questions through our platform as well. That'll be fun.
absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Happy holidays to you too, and everyone else.
Thank you so much. All right. You take care. You have a good one. So listen, y'all, as we wrap up, I want to thank you all for joining us again for ColumbusBlack.com's Black on Blast, right? And then y'all know what to do. Go to ColumbusBlack.com, check us out, see all the information. If you have a question, reach out to us through the contact. Be sure if you need a place that you need to work out of or rent, venturesuite.co. And don't forget, for your events, there's 20,000 plus events every month, events and activities and restaurants on the Mile platform. So download the app today. Go to mile.com and tap your iOS or your Android and go and check these things out. If you host events, post, promote, sell tickets to your events, and then help us to give a portion of those proceeds right back to underserved youth so they can be exposed to entertainment, the arts, and travel through our Extra Mile international platform as well, our nonprofit. So with that being said, y'all, we're going to wrap up right here. And in normal fashion, as I always do, in order to be more successful in your future, you need to understand a little bit more about your past. That's the reason why we just had Natalia Harris on the show, and I hope you all just had a blast. With that being said, I'm out. Have a good one, everybody. Take care. We'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.